So.
No, I've never had that before.
Yeah. Like, I've never had that. That's weird. Hi, Jackson.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks for coming in today. How are you doing today?
Feeling pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, you're
Doing
feeling
well?
good?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to see you from last week. Yeah, just tell me about how's the last week been since I saw you.
It's been pretty okay. You know, I've had a little bit more motivation to do different things, you know. Like we talked about a couple weeks ago, I've been reaching out to my brothers again a little more.
Oh, wonderful. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, every now and then I text them, try to, you know, try to set some things though. Sometimes they don't fall through, or they do fall through, but that's alright. Hanging out with some old friends again, you know, every now and then when I can. I have a job interview in about 2 weeks, which is really nice.
Oh, wonderful.
So yeah, things are better than ever, which is nice.
Great. Well, that is all great things to hear. I'm very happy to hear that. Can we look over the homework that I assigned you last week? Did you fill out the forms?
Yeah, I filled them out
Yeah.
as good as I can.
Oh, awesome. Okay, great. Okay, so last week I assigned you to fill out the challenging thoughts worksheet. Okay, so this is just kind of to look at some of the thoughts that you were having and situations and kind of recognize how you're feeling in that moment and kind of where those thoughts are coming from. So I'm just going to go over what you filled out and we'll talk about it. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, awesome. So let's see. So the first question is, what's the situation? And you wrote at home in bed thinking I'm a loser. And then it says, what am I thinking or imagining? That I'm no good. How much do I believe this thought? You circled medium. How does that thought make me feel? You circled sad. How strong is the feeling? You circled a lot, so very strong. And then it says, what evidence makes this thought seem true? And you put that another person can see it. So I just want to address that. So when you write another person, who are you talking about or referring to?
Well, I think if you remember when during my breakup, my ex had called me a loser during that whole breakup, and yeah, I think actually doing this whole form kind of let me see a little better that maybe that's not really me saying it, and it's just I've been saying it for so long, it's kind of become something I just say just normally when I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
But maybe that's not really me saying that. Maybe it's just somebody else.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I feel like it might be somebody else and not actually me saying it.
Okay, so you're talking about your ex-girlfriend here. Gotcha. Okay. The next question is, what is the evidence that makes this thought seem false? And you wrote, maybe I'm just down on my luck at this time. Okay, next question. For those thoughts that may have been formed based on what the perpetrator or other people said, is that source reliable? And you answered somewhat, but she might have said it out of anger. So I was going to ask, who is she? It's your ex-girlfriend. Let's talk a little bit more about that. So is this source reliable? You wrote somewhat. When she said it, did you believe it in the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Are you confusing a habit with a fact? Does the belief seem true because you have said this to yourself so many times? It has become a habit. I don't think this way when I'm busy or productive. Okay, so that's actually really good because you wrote down that, when you're busy and when you have stuff to do that you don't think about yourself in this negative way. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what are things you do that help you stay busy? Because I know last time we talked, you were talking about how you've recently been fired from being a zookeeper, and you told me that you got this job interview, which we'll touch more on later and go into more. But what are some things that you do to stay busy besides work?
Well, I mean, getting ready for job interviews and searching for stuff like that. That has kind of helped me stay focused a little better and kind of get my mind off of the bad stuff. Of course, like I said before, my brothers, getting the courage to text them and stuff,
Yeah.
it's been nice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, that's amazing that you have, got a job interview and are working towards that. I'm very happy to hear that. Let's keep going with the worksheet. So the next question is, are you using extreme ways of thinking by thinking in all or nothing terms or using exaggerated words or phrases? You wrote, it's possible. Can you tell me about that?
Sorry, what was the question again?
It's okay. So are you using extreme ways of thinking or thinking in all or nothing terms? You wrote, it's possible. So you didn't write yes, you didn't write no. Tell me more about what you were thinking when you wrote that.
Well, I think that was one of the when I was kind of seeing it more. I was just like, yeah, I'm sitting in bed, doing nothing. Like, I'm gonna think of myself as a loser.
Yeah.
But then I thought back to like the day before, and it's like, okay, I'm putting in this job interview. Like I feel really good about doing this. Like my brother, texting me, actually encouraging me to do certain things. And I'm like, yeah, I feel really good about this. But then it's just like, it's almost like when the sun goes down, I'm just kind of doing nothing, and those feelings are coming up. But even though I had a good day, those feelings do kind of come back in the end, which really does suck. But so, it is kind of all or nothing sometimes for me.
So these negative feelings that we've talked about that you feel come up at night more, you'd say?
Yeah.
At the end of the day?
Yeah, when I'm not doing anything, because the day's over, I should be resting and relaxing, but just like, it's kind of hard to do that sometimes, those feelings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally understand, and we'll touch on that more as we go through the session. Are you taking examples out of context by only considering one aspect of the situation at the expense of considering the entire incident? And you answered, yes, I could have just hit a rough patch in my life. Okay, so you recognize that this could just be one aspect of a situation, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not everything from this girl saying this about you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's great that you realize that. Let's continue on. Are you confusing a low probability with a high probability? No. Are your judgments based on feelings rather than facts? You wrote yes. So that is a good thing, because that's just showing that you're aware that these are feelings and your thoughts are not exactly how it is in the moment. So that's great. Are you exaggerating, including catastrophizing or minimizing the meaning of an event? You said yes, maybe. So what do you think about this? Right, maybe.
Yeah, I just, after the breakup, I know I told you that it was okay, that it kind of was gonna happen, but really it really sucked, and it was terrible, and I lost all motivation to do anything. So maybe it was me trying to hide my feelings, but I feel like in my head I really blew it up to major proportions, maybe my life was ending. It's like it was over. I'm not gonna be able to come back from that. But I've been talking to my brothers, and after you had a few of our sessions, and you really supported me and encouraged me to talk to others, and kind of build a relationship with my parents and my brothers. I definitely see differently that maybe my life wasn't over at that time. It was just it was just kind of just a rough patch.
Yeah.
At that time.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you made a lot of progress from 1 week, so that's really commendable. So thank you for telling me that and opening up about that. And then the last question is, how much do I believe my original thought now? And you circled a little. And then, sorry, 2 more questions. What am I feeling now? You put relieved. And how strong is the feeling? You said a lot. So tell me about, after you did this worksheet, it looks like, from what I'm reading, that at the beginning you were feeling sad and the feeling was really heavy on you, and then by the end of it, going through it, kind of answering these questions, the original thought seemed to have a lot less weight on it.
Yeah.
And you just felt relieved, and the feeling was very strong of relief. Is that how you remember it?
Yeah, I think just thinking through it actually really helped me out. I think before I could just here's the, I kind of suck as a person. That's it. There's nothing else to it other than that's just what it is. I think actually going through it, kind of coming face to face with it, I really see okay, maybe that's not all there is to it. maybe there's more things than just just that feeling.
Good. Yeah. Oh, and that's ultimately the goal of these worksheets. So I'm glad that you were able to recognize that. And then the next worksheet I had you do was very similar, challenging negative thoughts. And for this one, you wrote a different scenario, and you were assessing your thought about your brothers not having time to talk to you. So one of the questions was, is there evidence for my thought? And you put, they're busy people, but I didn't ask. So I just wanted to ask you, why didn't you ask?
That was kind of a rough day for me, I wanted to hang out with them and, but I was really in my head, I was just kind of just laying in bed. I wasn't really doing much, so I was just like, no, I probably shouldn't. And I really dwelled on that kind of fact that, they're probably busy, because they're kids, but I just because of that, I just didn't ask, so.
Gotcha. So do you think, we'll get to the homework at the end, but do you think that you could ask in the future?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah? Yeah, we could get to a place where you could pick up the phone and be willing to ask them?
Yeah, and then from that day, we've gotten a little closer.
Oh, good.
So
Awesome. Okay, is there evidence contrary to my thought? You wrote, I knew it was my brother's day off, so maybe he was free. Yes, that's a good thought. Am I attempting to interpret the situation without all the evidence? Yes, I think so. What would a friend think about the situation? That I should call them, and if they are busy, then it's okay. If I look at the situation positively, how is it different? I haven't talked to my brother in a while, so they might be excited to talk to me. Do you believe this?
Yeah, because I'm excited to talk to them,
Yeah.
so I would hope they're excited to talk to me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I agree with that. Will this matter a year from now? How about 5 years from now? You wrote, yes, it's important to keep in touch with family. And I think it's great that you recognize that. I also think it's very important to keep in touch with family. Your support system is such a big deal and so important to mental health. So I think it's great that you recognize that and want to start talking to your brothers more. So I applaud you for that, and you made a ton of progress, even in 1 week, so great job. So I just wanted to, I'm glad we did that, and now we're just gonna go over today's agenda. What are you coming in for? What's your biggest concern for today?
That's a good question. I'm having a lot of doubts and anxieties about going back to work, going back to my job interview. I think that's probably the biggest thing I'm worried about right now. The biggest thing.
Okay, and then I know last time we talked about how you were feeling very depressed, you're having trouble sleeping. Would you want to touch on sleep today? We could also talk more about your breakup.
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about my sleep.
Yeah, about sleep.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay, so we'll talk about address of sleeping, and also just about home life. How has your home life been?
It's been okay. Yeah, I just kind of try my best to stay out of the way, still. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so we'll come back to that as well. Okay, so you are having some anxiety about going back to work, is that correct?
Yeah. Anxiety.
So kind of take me through it. Tell me what's been going on.
Well, I think the interview or the actual application is easy. I graduated college, so it's I have a leg up there, but actually going in there and sitting in front of a person and talking, that can be kind of difficult for me. And especially because this is something that I kind of care about, it's a job for tutoring children,
Okay.
or high schoolers, so in the street. And it's just, like I told you, I really want to teach, I really want to get in there, but it's just it just gives me a lot of anxiety, because it's okay, what if I'm not good enough to do it, what if I don't remember all the stuff I learned, and I'm really nervous, and what if I bomb the interview, then I'm not even good enough to do the thing that I went to school for 4 years for, so it's just, that's what I'm trying to have. right
Yeah.
now.
So you're just thinking in your head all these things about messing up, correct? And not being good enough, I'm hearing. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Okay, got it. So you're just not feeling like you're good enough for the job. And why do you think you feel like that?
You know, I feel like it's weird because I was okay with kind of like slacking off as like I don't know, a job, and like maybe I wasn't okay with it, but like I wasn't really. I was thinking myself out. It's more like I was fine with just not doing well. Like I'd be okay at my job. That's fine. You know, that was just a job for me. But this is something that's really important to me. You know, that's why I wanted to do it. But it's just, you know, I feel like if I can't do this, then like where does my life go after that? Which is not really fair for myself. But like, you know, that's kind of where I am right now. It's because I really do want to do it. I want to do it well.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't want to be kind of just, I don't want to be okay. I want to be better.
So I'm hearing that you care a lot about this.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good to be doing something that you care so much about. You know, that shows that you're motivated and have a passion for it. So you're feeling very anxious about this interview?
Yeah.
Yeah. So take me through like your thoughts. So you said that like you're not feeling good enough. Like do you think that you're not going to get the job?
I might not. You know, maybe there's just a lot of like really good applicants out there too. You know, it's kind of a big high school, and you know, I know they do go through a lot of tutors sometimes, so it can be kind of competitive to get in. You know, and especially because it pays pretty decent for the position itself. So it's like, you know, it's what if I'm not actually able to, you know, measure up against other people like that, and you know, what if I do mess up in that interview? Because like, you know, I do mess up sometimes. Like I do a lot, and like I said before, you know, I've been kind of cruising for a long time, and so you know, to be actually able to actually really work hard, you know, it's weird. It's a really good feeling, but it's also just really scary, you know, because I think for a while, yeah, I was just kind of, I didn't really care. I was, you know, but for this, I really care.
Yeah.
Finally,
Yeah.
you know, and it's
Yeah.
just, yeah, I really want to do well, but it's just, I think that feeling too just makes me really anxious and like really nervous all at the same time. You know, that I'm probably not going to be good enough for it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think we can like identify these thoughts of I'm not good enough, I'm not gonna get it, what if there's people that are better than me? All these negative things that you're thinking, let's try to change them into a more positive mindset and framework.
Sure.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so how would you change a thought that is I'm not good enough? And I'm not, what if I don't get it? How can we change that into something a little bit more positive?
Well, I did say this before. I said that I did go to college. I am college educated,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you know, I do have a good advantage.
yeah,
There, so.
absolutely, absolutely. So I think just saying these more positive things about yourself, reminding yourself of your self-worth, saying I'm qualified, you know, I'm college educated, like you said,
Sure.
I'm well prepared. Yeah, just saying all these positive things, replacing the negative of I'm not good enough, I'm not gonna get it, and replacing it with I am good enough, I am prepared for this,
Sure.
I am qualified. Do you think that would ease some of your anxieties about this interview?
I think so.
Yeah.
A little bit. I definitely feel a little better right now. You know.
Yeah.
I think just talking about
Yeah,
it kind of makes
yeah.
me anxious. So
Yeah.
I think that hearing that a little more kind of calms me down a little bit at
Yeah,
least.
good,
Which is
good.
nice.
Yeah, because I think the more that you say it and reiterate it, the more you're gonna believe it. Because it's true. Yeah. So, I mean, I can believe those things about yourself, but has to come from you. So I think the more that you say it out loud and say it to yourself, the more you're gonna believe it.
Sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about your trouble sleeping now. So last time we talked, you were saying that you were just up all night, had sleepless nights. Can you tell me how your sleep's been since then?
It's been a little better. Mainly just because like at the end of the night I'm actually tired.
Yeah.
You know, or like I'm tired to a point where I can fall asleep.
Mhm.
I think just because
And why is that?
I'm doing things again. You
Yeah.
know, like, you know, I really kind of I hit my pillow and then I knock out because I'm I'm tired, you know, like I actually spend energy that day, and which is really nice. But yeah, there's still some nights that are hard, you know. Of course, the nights when I'm thinking about, you know, like jobs and yeah, like that kind of stuff. Like,
so on a scale of 1 to 10, how much is this bothering you?
Definitely less. I'd say probably like, well, the nights that I am sleepless, it's like a 9. Yeah, because it's definitely, I do want to go to bed and I do want to sleep, you know, but it's really difficult to, but, you know, then I'll kind of, you know, I might nap in the morning or whatever when I'm finally able to, and it's probably okay, you know, so they kind of go back and forth between like when I can't sleep and when I can sleep, so
Yeah.
I'm usually rested, kind of.
Okay. So for part of the homework that I'm gonna assign for you, I'm gonna suggest that we try to stay on a sleep schedule. Does that sound like something you'd be open to?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
As much as we can?
Sure.
Okay. So what would be like a comfortable time that you would feel like, okay, I wanna get in bed and start settling down? Like realistically, you don't have to say what you think I wanna hear.
Probably like 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think that would be good. And then what time ideally do you wanna wake up?
Probably around 9. I know that's a long time sleeping, but I mean, I usually do sit in bed and kind of just do nothing, or I don't know, just most nights I'm usually just kind of sitting there, just like just thinking, and then I kind of fall asleep, you know. That's,
Yeah, so do you have like your phone? Are you like on your phone
Yeah.
or watching TV
yeah,
before you go to bed?
usually that's usually how I fall asleep. Well, that's how I end up fall asleep.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a suggestion that we try to do less phone. How about we put our phone away 30 minutes before bed, before the 10:30 mark?
Okay.
Would that be doable?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think
Okay, how about we try that? Just because I think that might help you with sleeping a little bit more.
Sure.
If you're having trouble sleeping, express that you are.
Gotcha.
So we'll try that. We'll try putting the phone away 30 minutes before bed. And then you talked about when you wake up, you kind of just sit there.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
And so can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Sometimes it's hard to get out of bed, you know, I just kind of sit there and I go on my phone and I watch shows on my phone, just kind of getting ready, and then maybe an hour later I'll get up and get ready for the day.
Okay, so one suggestion I have for, you know, if you're staying in bed for a long time in the morning is you mentioned to me earlier that, you know, when you're busy and productive, you're not thinking all these negative thoughts. Is that right?
Sure.
So maybe we could set something in the morning that you have to do so that you could get out of bed
Okay.
and have something to go to, instead of me telling you to just get out of bed in the morning. If you know there's somewhere that you need to be, is there anywhere that, like, anything you could be doing in the mornings?
I could be cleaning part of the house, yeah, or
Okay.
doing some kind of chores.
Yeah,
around the house,
yeah. We can maybe put that as part of the schedule.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to, you know, kind of get your body more on a schedule, that might help with your trouble sleeping.
Sure.
That makes sense. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So I assigned you homework for a sleep schedule, and then I also wanted to talk about again the call with your brothers. So you did call them.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
did.
how did that call go?
It went really well. You know, we caught up, and like I said, he really did encourage me to kind of go out there and, you know, get this job interview that I wanted, and just apply for the job at least, which was really nice to hear. That happened kind of earlier in the week, and then, you know, I wanted to talk to him again, but like you said, I kind of just, you know, kind of backed off. But yeah, but when I did talk to my brother, yeah, it went really well. Yeah.
Well, that's a huge step, and again, I applaud you for taking my homework suggestion and following through with it. And I think you could see that, you know, the result of it was that of a positive result, right? Yeah. And you had a good experience.
Yeah.
That's great to hear. So for this week, can I assign you again to give your brother another call?
Yeah.
Or at least a text, at least reach out by text first and see if he's available, and try to connect with him again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, that'd be great. So far I have the sleep schedule that we're gonna do 30 minutes before bed, no phone. And then also send your brother a text, give him a call. I think that'll really help so that you can stay in touch, and maybe your brother will be able to ease some of your anxieties before this big interview, yeah? Yeah?
Hopefully.
And then the last piece of homework I wanted to assign you to was just saying 5 positive affirmations to yourself every morning, okay?
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Seems like a lot.
Okay, that's totally fine. What about we do 2?
I can do 2.
2?
Yeah,
You can do 2? Okay, that'd be awesome. So, just like I said before, examples of that would be, before you were telling me, there's so many applicants that are better than me, or I'm not qualified for this job.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of saying that, you could say something more positive, like I am qualified, I have a college degree, I'm good enough. So just positive affirmations like that. If you wake up every day, say those things to yourself in the mirror, and then report back to me how you feel after doing 2 of those every day.
Sure.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, well, we are almost out of time, but I just wanted to recap on our session today. We talked about your anxieties going into the interview. We also talked about how much progress you've made initially from the first session. And I just want to say again that I'm super proud of you. And if we can just keep working in this positive direction. And if you do take steps back, that's okay too. I want you to know that you can, always be honest with me, and I'm here for you and wherever you're at.
Sure.
So, I just wanted to say that, and good luck on the interview. And go home and do the sleep schedule, try to give your brother a call, and really focus on those positive affirmations.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
and then how do you feel about all of this, like after talking about it?
I think we do it.
You
yeah,
think?
it
Sounds
seems
good.
manageable.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems kind of easier.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I feel good or decent at least about it.
Awesome. Okay, and then next session, if you want to talk more about what's going on at home, because we didn't really get to that today, but definitely next week we can start with that. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
And going over the homework from last week.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Jackson.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.